Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Beckham Field. The Gamecocks look for the sweep of Texas Tech today here. I'm Spencer Ball, joined by J.P. Berry. To get yet another sweep over a ranked team on the season, what does Gamecock softball have to do today?
Well, they've just got to do what they've been doing ever since, the tough road trip up to Norman when South Carolina was swept by the dynasty of college softball. But they battled. They get on base, they chaos on the base paths. With a hint of power here and there, they're not afraid to park one over the fence or, hit one into the gap. So that's what this team does. They just can do it all. Plus, they get some really great pitching as well. And it's why they are positioned themselves for yet another sweep to join their outstanding victories over Duke for their second sweep of a top 15 opponent this season.
Yeah, and you mentioned that great pitching. It's Neely Lamb on the mound tonight, to start at least for South Carolina. Their pitching in this series has been fantastic. A 5-2 win in Game 1 and a 1-0 shutout yesterday. What's she going to have to do to keep the Red Raiders on base, where they love to be? They're top 15 in the country in stolen bases. Yeah,
so it's going to have to be aggressive pitching. You don't want to fall behind in the counts, and this is a team that kind of lives on chaos, the Red Raiders do. So just don't give them an inch because they'll take a mile. And so it's going to be all about getting into pitchers' counts, not pitching around people, just kind of going at them and attacking them.
This one's going to be a fun one. We'll be right back in just a moment with starting lineups and then the first pitch. And we're back here at Beckham Field. We're going to get into some starting lineups here. Of course, South Carolina, your home team, in the white and garnet pinstripe jerseys. I really love them. JP, Texas Tech in the all-red jerseys, black helmets. JP, for the Red Raiders, can you give us that starting lineup?
Yes, I can. Batting leadoff, playing second base, number 23, Alexa Langeliers, the sister of Shay Langeliers, former Atlanta Braves prospect, current Oakland Athletic. Batting second, it's the first
Sacramento Athletic.
Nope, they're still Oakland in this house. The batting second, the first baseman, number 11, Lauren Allard. Then batting third, the right fielder, number 21, Elena Johnson. Batting cleanup, number 42, the center fielder, Maya Davis. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 32, Haley Toney. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 55, Bailey Lindemuth. Batting seventh is the designated player, number 66, Kylie Huffman. Batting eighth, number 2, the left fielder, Demi Elder. And then batting 9 hole, it's the catcher, number 13, Victoria Valdez.
Yeah, and in the field for your Gamecocks, again, starting in the circle is Neely Lamb, the transfer from Charleston Southern. She's 5-1 on the year with a 3.19 ERA. Very solid start to the year. And let's get the infield around the horn. Starting at third, it's going to be Ella Chansey. At short, it's Brooke Blankenship. At second, Carly Shelton. And at first base, it's Emma Sellers. Behind the dish, it's going to be Lexi Winters. And in the outfield, from left to right once more, it's going to be Emily Vincent in left, Quincy Lilio in center, and Abigail Knight in right field. So that's going to round out the defense for South Carolina. Of course, we'll let you know where they bat in the next half inning. But, JP, we're about ready to get underway here. Again, Langeliers leading off, a 342 hitter.
Yeah, making her 28th start of the season. She has 5 home runs on the campaign, which leads the Red Raiders. And, I forgot to mention, towing the rubber for Texas Tech, it's the pitcher, Samantha Lincoln.
Righty-righty matchup. 12:03 is your start time. And here comes the first pitch. Lamb fires. A little high, ball one there. Looked pretty good. We've got a nice pitch clock out in center field, so we'll see how Lamb navigates that. The 1-0 count to Langoliers. She comes home. A very similar pitch. This one goes for a strike. Evens up the count at 1.
Well, you know, that's always a interesting start to the day when
Deja vu, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for Lamb, it's going to be imperative that she – is that one?
Off speed there, misses high.
Yeah.
As you were saying, my
yeah,
friend.
well, she doesn't want to get into these hitters' counts, so now she's behind 2-1. She got 3.19 ERA on the season, 5-1 record. It's her 8th start. She has just 12 walks on the season.
I was about to say she's really good at limiting these walks. Here's the 2-1. Cut on, popped out into right field. Knight comes in for an easy grab there, and there's 1 down here in the top of the first.
Yeah, as that fly out, a little shallow right field.
You know, we've got kind of an angle. We're on the right side of home plate, so that one, you know, you got to wait for it to get a little distance before you can tell exactly where it's going. But now steps in the Red Raiders, their best hitter on this team. It's Lauren Allred, the first baseman, batting lefty. First pitch, down the middle for strike. That's a good one from Lamb. Looked to be the fastball there.
Yes, it was. And Allred is it's a good name because it describes these Texas Tech uniforms perfectly.
It does. Transferred in maybe because of that from Louisiana Lafayette, the 0-1. Cut on and fouled back there. That was the off speed. And, again, we mentioned Lamb. We mentioned it pregame. Getting into these pitchers' counts, doing a great job here in the second at-bat.
Yeah, she's already ahead, 0-2. Looking for her 54th strikeout of the season.
She's got a couple pitches to play with. The 0-2. Fastball misses low for ball 1. Again, I like that pitch there. Again, you got Allred to swing at 1 down in the dirt the pitch before, so, yeah, see if she'll chase again. The 1-2. High and outside. Count is all evened up. 2-2 here for Neely Lamb. Again, Lauren Allred, 4 homers, 24 RBI on the season. Been very good for this Red Raider squad that's ranked 12th. The 2-2, off speed. Caught her looking. Great pitch there from Neely Lamb.
Yeah, and that one was really, really well placed. It was right on the outside half of the plate, and it just clipped the zone. There was nothing she could. By the moment she knew it was at strike, there was nothing she could do about it. She didn't protest. You know.
You know, I think that's one where she just hoped it would be called a ball in the outside corner, but certainly a strike, and that'll bring in the third hitter for the Red Raiders, Alana Johnson. She watches a fastball miss upstairs for ball 1. Second pitch of the AB, swing and a miss. Evens up at 1. A nice pitch from Lamb. Coming home with the 1-1. Lamb fires off speed. Just a hair upstairs. That'll miss for the second ball of the at-bat. Tell us a little bit about Johnson, JP.
Well, she's a transfer from the University of Washington. She can play pretty much the entire field.
It's the 2-1 fastball. Good for strike 2.
And, you know, she does a lot. She has a really good slugging percentage, 6 stolen bases on the campaign. And she also has a little bit of power with 4 home runs.
The 2-2 coming home. It's chopped up in the infield. Ranging over is going to be Sellers. An easy play to end the inning. And that's 3 up, 3 down for Neely Lamb. An ideal start for the Gamecocks. We'll take a quick break and be right back to see them hit for the first time so far. And welcome back here to the bottom of the first inning at Beckham Field. Texas Tech had a big old goose egg in the top of the first. JP, will you tell us how they're defensively aligned?
Yeah, Victoria Valdez in at catcher, Allred at first base, Langoliers at second base, Tony at short, Lindemuth at third, Elder in left field, Davis in center, and Johnson in right. Towing the rubber for the Red Raiders, it's Samantha Lincoln, a 4.43
ERA on the season, making her 7th start. And she's kind of struggled a little bit, with just, giving up a lot of hits. She's allowed 30 hits in 36.1 innings pitched. Teams get to her, and, it just kind of compounds from there. But she is able to get out of it, and she can give teams length. She has 2 complete games on the season. And
you know what? It does not start very easy as Quincy Lilio leads off for the Gamecocks. Lefty-lefty matchup here in the first pitch. Fastball down low for ball 1. Again, Lilio, the 18th highest batting average in the country, and she's 10th in on-base percentage. Does an excellent job of drawing walks. Second on this squad with 26 on the season. That one finds a zone for a strike. A great pitch there from Lincoln.
And Lilio, just another player with a lot of experience in softball, the redshirt junior, transfer from Oklahoma. She's been around winning a lot.
Absolutely. The 1-1 from Lincoln. Just missed a hair outside. Count moves to 2-1, and you're absolutely right. You go to Oklahoma in softball, that is certainly what you expect, and I think that speaks to Ashley Chastain's-Woodard's coaching ability, and a lot of transfers make up a good part of this lineup. The 2-1 is fouled back into the netting. Count evened up at 2. Lincoln sets, she fires, swing and a miss. Strikeout on the off-speed low in the zone. A great pitch there from Samantha Lincoln.
Just the 3rd strikeout of the season for Lilio. This team just doesn't strike out very much. They're not going to give you easy counts.
Certainly not. Another lefty steps in. It's Carly Shelton. She watches strike 1 go right by, and again, Lincoln starting quickly here. Shelton bats .358 on the season. She's a sophomore from Lexington, so a hometown favorite here. This one's grounded over to the left side of the infield. Lindemuth fields, fires to first for out number 2.
That was a tough play to make as well. Lindemuth was charging. You might have thought maybe that would have been the shortstop's ball of the play, but Lindemuth making a very good move as the senior, Ella Chansey, to step in.
Yeah, the first right-handed batter so far for the Gamecocks, playing third base today from Athens, Georgia. Again, as Lincoln's going to call time here, that was a really good play from Lindemuth, also because Carly Shelton's got some speed. It's a real bang-bang play. Got to make it quickly, and she did just that for the second out of the inning.
Yep, and Chansey, one of many people who followed Ashley Chastain-Woodard from UNC Charlotte to Columbia.
First pitch to her is a fastball. Good for strike 1 there. Wasn't sure if that would be a little high, but hey, that's why we wait for the call. The 0-1 coming home. Off speed down in the zone for ball 1. Count is all evened up. JP, it's a beautiful day for some softball, isn't it?
Absolutely. Not a cloud in the sky, mid-60s. It just feels good. Nice little breeze, not too much. Blowing out right to left.
And the 1-1 chopped on, grounded right back to Lincoln. She fields, fires to Allred. The throw's high. Chansey had a chance to go to second, but she'll take the error there and keep her base. As, again, Lincoln, it would have been a close play, but the throw just not very good. It's going to be an error on the pitcher there.
Yeah, and I find that interesting. Even if it had been a great throw, that would have been really close. So,
fortunately for Lincoln, though, it didn't hurt her as Chansey's on first. It could have been worse, I guess, as Lexi Winter steps into the box. Fastball misses outside. The catcher, also from Lexington, 4 home runs, 29 RBIs. He's brought some much-needed power to this lineup from last year. Something they didn't have last year, I should clarify. The 1-0. Off speed yet again, missing outside for ball 2. When we mention the weather, we should also mention the crowd here at Carolina Softball Stadium, Beckham Field. It is a very packed crowd. Check swing did go around there for strike number 1. It's a good pitch there from Lincoln, kind of froze her.
Yeah, I think even if she hadn't have gone, it would have been a strike anyway.
I think you're right. The 2-1. Lefty delivers again down in the zone, outside for ball 3. Lincoln in danger of surrendering her first walk of the game so far. She has 26 strikeouts to 13 walks on the season. Comes home with it. Misses outside for ball 4. That time it was the fastball, but still, nothing doing.
Yeah, another pitcher just like Neely Lamb for South Carolina who just doesn't surrender many free passes, but when she does, you got to take advantage. And now South Carolina is their first chance with a runner in scoring position.
And Brooke Blankenship comes up to bat, the right-handed shortstop. It's been the everyday shortstop for going on her 3rd year. Watch that one miss outside for ball 1.
And, it seems like right now the strike zone is not going to be maybe as wide as these pitchers
Pretty
thought.
tight, yeah.
And so they're going to have to start working inside. And for a pitcher like Lincoln, who's given up a lot of hits on the season, that could prove trouble.
1-0, fouled back. I think you're right, because especially against Winters, she tried to get that outside edge really working for her.
Yeah.
Wasn't being called, and, when that happens, again, you're going to have to throw some pitches in the zone, and this Gamecock offense is primed to make her pay. The 1-1. That one again outside. 2-1 was waiting.
Pretty much the same exact pitch as the first one. But
really close.
Yep.
We don't have a TrackMan, so we can't see exactly where that was. Yeah. But got to imagine it was pretty close from Lincoln. But
it was a good frame job, too. By
really
Valdez.
was. 2-1. Grounded over to short. Fielded by Tony. She drops the ball. It's going to be another error for this Texas Tech team, and that will juice the bases.
Yeah, this is just the one thing you just cannot afford. You're giving South Carolina, chance after chance. This is not a team that you want to give, when you have a chance to get out of the inning, you need to take it. And there's going to be a little bit of a mound visit here, just kind of settling things down.
Definitely a good call on the mound visit there. Again, to Lincoln's, one of the errors was on her, but that was a pretty routine play. Tony just dropped the ball and couldn't get the throw off to first. So bases loaded for South Carolina. Abigail Knight is going to step up to bat again. Another one of those Charlotte transfers, one of 6 that followed Ashley Chastain-Woodard. And they have proved vital to this team. She's batting .337 with 2 homers, 22 RBIs on the season. And JP, it's a really stacked lineup. I mean, we saw them go toe-to-toe with Oklahoma, and that is about as promising as it gets.
Yeah, 3 straight 1-run losses to the Sooners. It was the closest the team had played them all year until yesterday when Mizzou knocked off the Sooners to give them their first loss of the season. As now South Carolina with a real chance here in the first inning.
Got a lefty-lefty matchup. Lincoln gets the sign here. Bases loaded. The first pitch of the AB. Fastball outside, ball 1. Again, it looks like Lincoln's still trying to work the outside of that zone. Not doing her any favors so far today. The 1-0 tonight. She comes home, fastball high for ball 2.
And this could be a real linchpin moment just in this series. Texas Tech looking to get away and get at least one win here before they head straight into Big 12 play for the rest of the season.
The 2-0. That one's good for a strike. Lincoln responds well there. And again, you're right. Texas Tech looking towards Big 12 play. South Carolina looking to get in the thick of this SEC schedule. It's not going to get any easier.
And what's odd is
the 2-1 fouled back by Knight. Just a little under that one.
And what's maybe a little odd here is that, squaring up the bunt with 2 outs, but Texas Tech has proven they're struggling fielding the ball. So maybe putting the pressure on them to make a tough play.
And Lindemuth's playing pretty far back on third, a couple steps behind the bag. The 2-2 sliced right over her head into left field. 1 run scores. The throw coming home to the plate. She's safe at home. Winters gets in under the tag. It's a 2-run RBI double from Abigail Knight.
And that one really just kind of,
that's a killer.
That's you were 1 strike away. You really kind of had Knight uncomfortable. She wasn't, she was in a disadvantageous count. Things were kind of rough a little bit there. You had the lefty-lefty matchup, but Knight's just able to slice that one, like you said, right over Lindemuth's head.
And you saw there, Lindemuth charged that one, maybe
misread it.
Not expecting bunt, but again, just came up right as the pitch was delivered. It's the first pitch off the glove of Lincoln from net. The flip from the second baseman in there. 1 run scores. The second comes home, and the Gamecocks have a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. It gets from bad to worse here.
And and that's just, that's outstanding base running. Natalie Heath beating that out. So that at least, in her mind, at least 1 run will be able to score. But then you have Knight flying around third, while Texas Tech was struggling with that ball over at second base, tried to flip it to first, not in time, and now another mound visit. We have a challenge.
See a challenge here. Again, they're challenging the call that Natalie Heath was safe at first. It was a close play. Langoliers gloved it, flipped it in the glove to Lauren Allred at first. Bang, bang play. Called safe. The officials are going to take a look at it. As it stands right now, she was called safe, so it's 4-0. South Carolina on top here in the bottom of the first. Emma Sellers, the first baseman, is set to bat, but we're gonna get another look at this. We'll see if they play it on the Jumbotron, and we'll give you our our play-by-play here.
For some reason, I just don't know if we'll get that, Spencer.
Well, I only said that because they're kind of we see like a still image on the Jumbotron, but that's all we're getting. Again, very close play, but again, the base running, you can see that South Carolina is not afraid to be very aggressive here.
And even if this is overturned, it's still a good first inning for the Gamecocks. They put 2 runs across the board, and they put the pressure onto Texas Tech, as we might see a replay up here.
And the reason that play was tough, again, it was, we were still kind of settling in. Lincoln was working quickly. It bounced off the glove of Lincoln to Langoliers at second, so it gave Heath a little extra time.
And that's where, Lincoln, her pitching style, her pace is so interesting because she's so fast, and that means that she can get into a rhythm, but that also means she can kind of become flustered and frustrated up there and just keep on rifling it, not take a second to breathe, calm herself down. And that gives South Carolina a chance to really time it up well, too.
Yeah, it'll be, again, very interesting to see what this is called. If it is called an out at first, it will be a 2-0 game, and we'll fix our score sheets real quick. But
yeah, no. That's what sucks about using a pen, I guess.
That's very true. I like the way a pen feels, It looks nice.
Pencils, there's just something about the texture there that bothers me.
Again, Swag Surfing rings out. We're having a great time.
Yeah.
The umpires just kind of disappeared into right field, so I'm not sure where they are. But
I'm going to lean a little bit more and fall out. I think that'd be funny.
They're going to come back here.
Well, yeah.
We'll see what we get for the call.
Which one's going to call
Slow jog back into the infield.
Oh, he's getting on the podium.
That's right, taking center stage here. Due to technical difficulties, the review is not challenged, and that's a tough
you mean the
break.
challenge is not reviewed?
Yeah, or like I don't know if the challenge counts because they can't review it. Something.
Well, first-year head coach for the Red Raiders, Jerry Glasgow, is none too pleased.
I wouldn't be either. I mean, you have a chance to save yourself 2 runs if that call is or if that challenge is successful. But
well, I guess that's why we couldn't get anything on the scoreboard because
Yeah.
there was nothing to look at. But I mean, now this is a better time than any to point out that this is a battle of two first-year head coaches.
Glasgow,
He was an assistant for a long time. He was a head coach there at Louisiana Lafayette. And now helming the Red Raiders as they're poised to really kind of take advantage of Texas and Oklahoma, leading the Big 12 for the SEC. The Red Raiders sit at 5-1 in conference play, first in the Big 12 standings, with series wins against Oklahoma State and Kansas, I believe.
It's either they beat Kansas or they're about to play Kansas.
and they're
And
also
Baylor's there also.
Texas Tech has done a great job recruiting, got a pair of top 15 prospects out of the state of Texas. And, you know, it's a big credit to him as well as their NIL efforts because, JP, they got arguably the top transfer in softball from last year.
Yes.
Pitched yesterday. Nigeri Kennedy threw 6 innings, 1 earned run, and got the loss. But she is something special. The second lowest ERA in the country, 5th in strikeouts with 133, second in K to walk ratio. She is outstanding here as the officials come over and talk to Chastain Woodard.
But, you know, and looking at the Red Raiders' schedule, you know, they swept Baylor and they took 2 of 3 from top 15 conference for Oklahoma State. A team that I believe met Oklahoma in the national championship not too long ago. We had Bedlam on that kind of stage, which is very interesting.
Pretty awesome, man. That's,
But
we're a
looks
very lengthy review process here.
for no review.
Yeah, and so they're it seems they're headed back to the review cave. That's what we'll call yeah, because 2 officials back out to right field going to try and take a look at it. Again, we'll keep you posted with what's going on, but you know, as per usual, I think for me and JP, we're just going to keep talking. Yeah, that might be what we do best. What do you think?
I guess so.
Yeah,
But I believe now they are going to re-review. After
maybe the
speaking with-
technology's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. JP, would you enlighten us with who South Carolina has next?
Yeah, so the Gamecock schedule after this weekend series against Texas Tech, they're taking on the Clemson Tigers, a team that a little bit of a down year compared to how they've been since they started their softball program, not ranked in any of the polls right now, but still, I mean, that's a game that South Carolina has not won. I don't know if they've beaten Clemson since Clemson started their softball program a couple years ago.
JP, if I remember correctly, it was a tragic defeat last year.
It was.
I
They
believe
had it
was
right there.
They were winning and fell apart in the bottom of the 7th. Tough scenes, especially because Clemson's a pretty solid softball program. But this year, JP, the Gamecocks faring better so far to start the season. And, again, still got some reviews going on. We're seeing all the angles in still on the scoreboard. So,
Yeah.
but we'll go ahead and give you a little inning breakdown. Again, as it stands right now, South Carolina leads 4-0 on 2 hits and 2 errors by the Red Raiders. Emma Sellers is primed to step into the batter's box with 2 outs and a runner on first. That's Natalie Heath. Again, if this call gets reversed, we'll keep you updated. But that would certainly change things, and we would move on to the second inning.
It's been a very long first inning. I mean, it was going to be anyway with South Carolina loading the bases. But now, I mean, with this review, not review going on.
And, you know, not only Samantha Lincoln, but also Neely Lamb probably trying to stay a little warm here. It's been a while since we've seen the South Carolina starter. Lincoln's going to take a couple warm-up pitches. A little high and outside there. I won't do that to her, you know, just trying to stay warm here. Again, lefty-righty matchup, and JP, that's one thing I think South Carolina's done a really good job of, adding a lot of left-handed bats to this lineup. Last year, it felt like a lot of their best hitters were righties, and again, sometimes that's a little disadvantageous, especially when you got a good a good right-handed pitcher up.
It helps to mix things up.
It sure does. And the officials are back. They're going to corral the 2 head coaches on the first baseline. And we might finally make some headway here.
Well, they're meeting with Ashley Chastain Woodard, and here comes Glasgow over.
Something's telling me Can't read lips from this
No,
far, JP.
but the
I
umpire
was going to
doesn't.
try.
He seems kind of miffed. I don't know.
Something's telling me it's not going to be a very clear-cut call. It's
Well,
if it's an
Glasgow's
out,
not
it's
pleased.
no, certainly not, and I can't blame him here, especially if it's a technology issue. That would stink. But
Yeah, but South Carolina looking today to even up the all-time series with the Red Raiders. They trailed 3-0 with just one meeting back in 2020. And it was South Carolina got swept, but now the
trying to
Gamecocks-
return the favor.
Yeah, and well, Woodard's coming back to the dugout. Glasgow's still with the umpires. There's some sort of event person with some staff member on a phone, I guess, trying to coordinate maybe with
the SEC. Yeah,
the
that's
SEC
what I'm
network.
thinking here. We'll see. Are the officials going to go back to their spots, or are they going back to review this for a third time?
I guess we're resuming. All right, well, we don't get an announcement, people. We just get resume of play.
You got one right here. South Carolina. Everything stands. It's a 4-0 lead
If
for the
they even
Gamecocks.
review anything.
Who knows? But Emma Sellers steps into the box in her 12 at-bats on the season. She has 6 hits and 5 walks. That is outstanding stuff from her. And the first pitch from Lincoln. Swung on and fouled back for strike 1 as we resume play.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for Sellers to make it just her 4th start of the season. You're coming up in this big-time opportunity to add on here in the first inning. Then that huge break happens. You're just trying to stay ready.
Same thing for Lincoln, man. Keeping that arm warm has started off well. Again, another foul ball here back into the netting. That was an off-speed pitch.
That one almost cleared the netting and came back to us.
Yeah, and
that would have been fun.
Nice pitch from Lincoln there. An off-speed seemed to be the curveball working in on the hands of Sellers. Down in the end, Sellers still just kind of sliced it back. She's in a pitcher's count here, 0-2. 2 outs. Natalie Heath on first. Did she go? She sure did. Strike 3 will end the inning as South Carolina has a 4-0 lead with a 2 RBI double from Abigail Knight and then a 2 RBI infield single from Natalie Heath. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you here in the top of the second at Beckham Field. And welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Spencer Ball, joined by J.P. Barry. We're here in the top of the second inning where Maya Davis, the center fielder for the Red Raiders, leads us off. Neely Lamb, first pitch of the second. It's chopped up straight to the third baseman. An easy catch there from Ella Chansey for out number 1. And that's not how the Red Raiders wanted to respond.
No, it wasn't. After a very quick top of the first, which included 2 really pretty easy outs, a fly out to shallow right field and a pop-up to second base.
And a strikeout.
A backwards K, yeah, strikeout looking.
As another lefty, the freshman Haley Toney steps into the box. She watches a fastball run in at her knees for ball 1. Again, for the Red Raiders, you just want to string together some hits, get some positive momentum But Neely Lamb working efficiently thus far. The 1-0. Good for strike one. Clipped the outside third. Haley Toney was one of those freshmen I was talking about. Again, top 15 in the perfect game softball rankings in the country for freshmen. So the Red Raiders, a liner to short off the glove of Blankenship. Sneaks into center field.
Well, there goes the perfect game, Spencer.
Sure was. It was maybe a play Blankenship could have made, but it was hit really well from Toney, so they're going to give her the hit. The first one of the day for the Red Raiders, a single.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I mean, that one was pimped over the shortstop's head. And, I mean, she got her glove to it, but she had to make a leaping grab.
Yeah,
it deflected off the webbing. It's like.
This one's popped out to right field. Racing in and making the catch is Knight. Showing off that speed there as that one was tailing foul from Lindemuth. Didn't even get to say her name as she's already headed back to the dugout.
And Haley Toney, 6 for 7 on stolen base attempts on the season. She's, like you said, that very talented freshman. She's going to be able to get on the base paths, but a good work there to get Davis out very early. As Davis has 16 stolen bases already on the season.
Yeah, one of the leaders in the nation. As Kylie Huffman sees her first pitch, the designated player. She watches it go high for ball one.
Yeah, and you saw there for the Gamecocks, Winters popping up. Looking Toney back to first base.
She threw somebody out yesterday to keep things scoreless, and so that one finds the zone. A good pitch from Lamb.
And Toney thought about it that time, but Winters is, that pop time, it's definitely something that Tony's keeping track of in the back of her head.
If we get to 2 strikes here, I wouldn't surprise me if Toney is sent no matter what, but we'll see if Lamb can do it here. The 1-1. Grounded over to first. Good play from Sellers, and she'll step on the bag to end the inning. South Carolina.
Toney was in motion, so if that one had gotten past Sellers at first base and into the outfield, she would have been rocking it around third.
Yeah, Knight would have had to probably fire up a throw to home as she's got some speed. But again, South Carolina gets out of the top of the second, only allowing 1 hit. Everyone else dealt with in just 7 pitches. Lamb working efficiently. Gamecocks lead at 4-0. We'll be back here in the bottom of the second in just a moment. And welcome back to Beckham Field. Leading us off is the 9-hole hitting Emily Vinson in left today. The senior from Elgin, South Carolina. Again, trying to add to a Gamecocks lead as they have it 4-0 right now over the Red Raiders. JP, what have you liked from the Gamecocks so far?
Well, they've just gotten, they've gotten traffic on and they've cashed them in. A 4-run first inning is nothing to scoff at.
First pitch. Strike from Lincoln on that outside corner. She finally gets one to go her way.
I know. Maybe they're feeling bad after the review that wasn't. But for South Carolina, Vincent, another transfer. She comes from Longwood from the Big South.
It's the 0-1. Clips the dirt. Evens up the count at 1-1. Again, I think South Carolina, really in a lot of sports, JP is opening themselves up to the transfer portal, and it served them very well.
Yeah, in some sports.
Swing and a miss there Fastball inside. Yeah, you're right. We don't need to talk about the state of Gamecock men's basketball, and so I know that's who you were talking about.
Yeah, it was. Well, baseball hasn't been great at that.
That's very true, but first-year head coach is that one down in the dirt, 2-2 count now. But again, so is Chastain Woodard. That's all.
That's true.
But we have like the Mario running out of breath underwater sound effect playing.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Interesting choice. The 2-2 to Vincent. Grounded up the middle. It sneaks through into the outfield for a leadoff single.
And just what a great piece of hitting there. And a 2-strike count. She squares it up and just sends it right back where it came from.
Return to sender, man. That's classic.
That's tough for Lincoln because it seemed like she was really kind of finding her groove back. She had it in a 1-2 count and then bounced that off-speed pitch for a ball and then left that one a little too over the middle. And Vincent was able to just, like I said, send it right back for return to sender.
Quincy Lilio looking for a slap hit. Vincent goes, and she's thrown out. An excellent throw from Valdez.
Whoops.
As it was going to be, trying for a little hit and run there. Lilio just couldn't find it with the bat. Vincent gunned down, but again, credit to the Red Raider catcher.
Oh, exactly. I mean, South Carolina had a plan. They didn't execute it well, but Texas Tech made them pay for it.
As the corner infielders come in, Lilio. This one fouled up and out of play. Let's see if the fan can make a catch.
Oh.
What a play. The Red Raider fan. How about the hands on that one?
Looking like GT Toppin out there.
There you go.
Or Michael Crabtree.
The 0-2 count to Lilio. She's 0 for 1 today again with just her third strikeout, you said, on the season. She'll watch fastball miss outside for ball one.
And, I mean, when she has 40 hits this is the 30th game of the season,
on top of a 569 OBP.
Yeah, 40 hits and 26 walks. She is an on-base machine. As that curveball misses outside, 2-2 count. Again, lefty-lefty matchup, and see if Lilio can get her revenge from the first inning K. The 2-2. Sliced into left field, and it goes foul. In pursuit was Demi Elder. That one would have been a tough play.
Yeah, I mean, that one, the way that the outfield is set up for Texas Tech, the left fielder was playing a little bit more in the left center gap, and she was hard-pressed to get over there, too.
Yeah, and that ball just kept tailing off towards the Red Raider bullpen. The 2-2 all over again. This one grounded over to second. Nice play from Langoliers with the easy flip over to Allred. That one had some heat on it, but
it did, but nothing
fielded
doing.
Well. That'll bring up the second baseman, Carly Shelton. Last time out, she grounded out to the third baseman, Linda Muth. Looking for her first hit of the day. Again, they've surrendered 3 so far. Lincoln looking to get out of this inning with 2 outs already. First pitch, high and outside. Ball 1. The 1-0 from Lincoln. Off speed chopped right down at Shelton's feet. Strike 1. And interesting to, see how many pitches Lincoln is going to throw here. They already had an arm kind of getting loose in that Red Raider bullpen. It was a 28-pitch first inning for Lincoln. It's the 1-1 now. That one misses down in the dirt, ball 2.
And South Carolina kind of, helping her out because they had it. They got the leadoff runner on and really could have driven this pitch count up into maybe the 50s. It's sitting at 38 right now.
Hey, the inning's young. So this one's fouled off towards the bullpen again, just a little late that time from Shelton, and the count's evened up at 2.
It can't be a 2-out rally until you get to 2 outs, Spencer.
That's right, Deuce is wild here. 2-2 count, 2 outs. And Lincoln wears 22. How about that? We really do have some odd music playing here. This is a pretty sweet soundboard at Beckenfield. The 2-2, though. Shelton drives it down the first base line and foul again.
She hit that so hard, the little play call sheet in her wristband flew out. I mean, she's
yeah. Go pick that up. Can't give that to Allred over at first, you know.
Yeah, no, and Valdez was already looking. All's fair in love and war.
That's right. The 2-2 once again from Lincoln. Grounded back up the middle. Langoliers ranges to her right, fires to Allred. Not in time. Shelton beats it out for an infield single.
And it was a good throw by Langoliers, but it just popped out of the glove of Allred there at the end, too. So just a tough, I'd call that an infield single. She had to range over to her right. That one was screaming up the middle.
And that throw wasn't going to be in time. Shelton running hard, and that brings up Ella Chansey. She scored a run in the first inning and reached on an error by the pitcher, Samantha Lincoln. So one runner on first. First pitch of the AB runs inside at the hands for ball one. We've seen Lincoln, you know, in that first inning really trying to get the outside strikes going. She worked a little more inside here this time. The 1-0 to Chansey. Great drop ball. Finds his own for strike one. The 1-1 coming home. Misses upstairs, ball two. It's going to be interesting to see if Shelton goes. She's 2 for 2 on stolen bases on the season here. What do you think, JP? Do they test Valdez again or just let your bats do the work?
Yeah, you already ran into one out on the base pass. But, of course, if he gets to a 3-ball count, I think that we'll see her go anyway.
That's right. The 2-1 now. Fouled backwards. Again, yeah, Shelton, you know, she's down there in that almost track position, ready to take off at first. So contact, you know, of course, with 2 outs. She's going to be running no matter what. 2-2 count for the second AB in a row, JP.
Yeah, can Lincoln get out of this one?
We'll see with this one coming home. Popped up out of play down the first baseline. Chansey stays alive there. And again, so we talked about the pitch count. South Carolina really lengthening these at-bats here and waiting for their pitcher. Otherwise, they're not swinging at it. 2-2. This one grounded to short. Fielded by Tony. She'll fire to first to end the inning. It's a 6-3 again as South Carolina there reached on a leadoff single from Emily Vincent, who was then caught stealing. Lilio grounded out to second, and Carly Shelton singled up the middle. That was Ella Chansey grounding out to short. So a little bit of action for the Gamecocks. No runs come across. As we'll take a little break and be back at the top of the third. And welcome back here to Student Gamecock Television's radio broadcast of Gamecock softball. I'm Spencer Ball, joined by JP Barry. The Gamecocks have a 4-0 lead here in the top of the third as we see Neely Lamb step back into the circle in what's been a dominant day so far, JP.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas Tech, they've just got one hit scratched against her, no walks, no errors for the Gamecocks. Neely Lamb, her season ERA down now to about 3, and her whip is below 1 as she continues her very good stretch of play.
Your really great stuff is the lefty. Demi Elder steps into the box. She's hit by the first pitch.
Well, we spoke a little too soon. 5th hit by pitch for Lamb this season.
She's holding that
Right
arm a little
Well,
awkwardly
yeah.
there. As
I think maybe, did I get her on the elbow?
maybe did, as she's on first base, and hopefully she's okay there. Couldn't see if that was the back or not. As she's,
I think she was twisting out of the way of it. She was twisting out of the way of it, and I think it might have hit the
back of the arm is
yeah.
kind of what it's looking like, but
But I think she's
she's okay, as that'll get her a round of applause, and that's, what you love to see, good sportsmanship here.
It's true.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Victoria Valdez. We've seen her make a great play in the field. She's going to try and do it with the bat here. Righty-righty matchup against the junior from Alvin, Texas. Lamb fires home. Off speed. Good for strike 1.
Valdez has collected 11 hit-by pitches this season already.
It's a high number there. She drives this one into center field. Lilio doesn't have to move too far to make an easy out. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Alexa Langolier. She flew out to right field last time out, and this time with a runner on, the Red Raiders got to think they're going to want to, try and capitalize on this opportunity and claw some runs back.
Absolutely.
The first pitch to her. Swing and a miss. A beautiful drop ball there from Neely Lamb.
And when you're doing, the talent is very evident. With Langoliers. So getting ahead in the count here is imperative.
Yeah, the senior infielder. Swing and a miss there. It's a hefty cut. Just couldn't find the ball on the other end. Transferred from Louisiana Lafayette, as well as a couple other players on this team. So they've already, got some chemistry going there, but relocated to Lubbock. It's the 0-2. Runs inside. No swing there. It's a 1-2 count now. And, we didn't get to talk about Demi Elder much because she was hit on the first pitch, but it's just her second at-bat all year.
That's her first start of the season.
Yeah, we'll see what she can do on the base path. 1-2. Off speed. Fouled back towards the Red Raider bullpen. And that one, Lamb again went off speeds there. Langoliers, good job staying back and just getting something on that to stay alive. Lamb gets the signal, and we'll do the 1-2 count all over again. Comes home with it. It's going to be ball 2 there. That one's just a little too high. 2-2 count. Again, a runner on first, one out here in the top of the third inning. This one grounded over to third. Gets through. Blankenship thought about it. She'll just eat it. An infield single from Langoliers.
I'm interested to see how they score that. Because Clancy at third, yeah, they'll give her the hit there.
She kind of looked like she was going to field it, but JP, one thing I thought about, I don't know if she was called off by Blankenship. Well, that's something we just couldn't quite hear. So if she was, then that would make a little more sense. But she got down like she was going to field it and then just didn't, but would have been too tough of a throw. Runners on first and second now. 4. Again, Lauren Allred struck out her first time up, but a very dangerous hitter. The first pitch she sees. Swung on, line to second base. Shelton makes a great play for out number 2. Both the runners get back in time. 2 on, 2 out now.
And that's a tough. That's a tough liner, right? You hit it hard on the button, but it goes right to a glove. And
yeah, I think.
But good IQ by the Red Raider base runners to get back.
Yeah, is that one? They were thinking off the bat maybe could have gone over the head of Shelton as the shift is on here for Alana Johnson off the glove of Winters, and both runners advance. We've got 2 in scoring position now.
Yeah, would you score that as a wild pitch or a pass ball? It was a rise ball that just kind of like clipped the top of her glove, and now we'll have a meeting on the mound.
This is a great call for a meeting with the entire infield, and again, that one's tough, JP, because it was a little high, but it did go off the glove, so not sure. Well, you know what? We'll see what stat broadcast.
Oh, true. If so, it would be just the 4th wild pitch of the game or of the season for Lamb.
She does a great job,
Stat
maintaining
broadcast has
control.
it as a passed ball.
Pass ball, there you go. Again, Neely Lamb, 54 strikeouts now to just 12 walks, so really efficient stuff from her. And one thing to note about the infield, Alana Johnson is up now. She popped out to the first baseman last time up, but this Gamecock infield, they were shifted. Now they'll kind of, nope, Shelton will go to the right behind second base. So we've got 2 infielders kind of crowding third base here. Shelton right up the middle behind Lamb. And the 1-0 comes home. Just outside for ball 2. That one really close there.
But this opens up the possibility if Johnson can poke this one down the right field or down the first base line, 2 runs will score easy. Cut this lead in half.
That's right. It's just Emma Sellers manning the right half of the infield. We'll see what happens. 2-0. Upstairs again, ball 3. So again, this is what the Red Raiders, you couldn't have asked for a better chance to get back in this one. A 3-0 count. We'll see if she has the green light on this. It's going to miss high again. A 4-pitch walk to load the bases here.
Oh.
Bringing up Maya Davis.
Big confidence there from Johnson. She was out of the box before the umpire had even made his call.
Yeah, it was a close one, too. Maybe just a tad upstairs. The infield going to be a little bit in here. The corner's in. Again, Maya Davis popped out to first last time up, but she's a speedster. She grounds this one over to second. Shelton, easy grab, easy flip to first. And the Red Raiders leave them stranded here. Gamecocks still lead 4-0. That is as tough as it gets, man. I mean, another first pitch out for Davis.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder there, pal.
No, but, I mean, it's right. I mean, and you, with maybe one of the most important at-bats of the day, you had a real chance to cut into this lead here and give yourself an opportunity to tie the game. But
surprised she didn't watch one go by, especially since Lamb just walked a batter on 4 pitches. But, again, we're not going to doubt Maya Davis. She bats .370 with 16 stolen bases. Just didn't work out this time. And, again, your Gamecocks lead it 4-0. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the bottom of the third on SGTV. And we're back once again here. Bottom of the third inning as the Gamecocks lead it 4-0. I'm Spencer Ball, joined by JP Barry. It's great to be back on softball, JP. We haven't done this in a little over a year, man. Knocking some rust off, but it's a beautiful day.
Absolutely. I mean, these games are a lot better than the ones we did.
we did some
count.
We did exhibition games back in the fall, but hey, some great reps, and Lincoln's going to call timeout, and that gives us a chance to introduce the batter. It's the catcher, Lexi Winters, who walked back in the first inning and came around to score a run. She drives this one in the infield, ranging over Tony. throw over the head of Allred at first. Might give her a single there, though.
Well,
that would have been a really tough play.
I mean, she threw that like O'Neal Cruz at shortstop, but now they're going to give
Winners the
They're
single
give
there.
Winners the hit.
I think that's the right
yeah,
call.
That was hit in the hole at shortstop.
Really nice backhanded play, but
the throw just left a little to be desired.
Left a little to be desired, but again, we might have seen that tomorrow morning on Top 10 Plays if she was able to make that throw. So that'll bring up the 5-hole hitting Brooke Blankenship, who also reached on an error and came around to score back in that 4-run first inning for South Carolina. But for the second inning in a row, they have a runner, a leadoff runner, and it's going to be a pinch runner. It's Nia McKnight, often utilized in this pinch running role. She doesn't go there as the first pitch to Blankenship misses low and downstairs.
And then McKnight, a freshman.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, you get on the field however you can, and using her speed as an advantage here. 1-0 to Blankenship. This one grounded just down the first base line.
McKnight, a perfect 3 for 3 on stolen bases so far on the season.
Picked one up yesterday.
Yeah, so I don't think you need a rocket science degree to see what South Carolina might be trying to do here.
And Blankenship is an excellent contact hitter, so, JP, you know, I think they're going to look for a little hit and run if it works. Try and put something in play, let McKnight run. She's going to fake the bunt there as that one kicked up some dirt for ball 2.
Yeah, she squared up there. But a good job pulling it back, not getting hit with the strike as Lincoln has now hit well above 50 pitches on the day. There is someone warming in that Texas Tech bullpen. Can't really make out a number.
2-1, the bunt goes foul towards the South Carolina dugout, and the count's now evened up at 2. Yeah, I can't see who that is warming up for Texas Tech, but one thing in
someone
softball,
is warming up.
You don't have that many pitchers. Here is,
no, yeah.
You know, there's only give or take 5 on each team, and for Texas Tech, they have a couple pitchers that play in the field as well, which is just awesome to see. 2-2 now to Blankenship. She fouls it right into Abigail Knight in the on-deck circle. She's going to walk that one off, but I think she's laughing, which is...
I mean, so that's kind of maybe like a stress reaction because sometimes something is so ridiculous you just have to laugh at it, and that is really tough.
Oh, yeah, that was rocketed right at...
You can hear it hit her.
Right at the leg.
I think it hit her in the knee.
Yeah, she's going to just, you know, grab her bat and...
Go in the dugout.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see a pinch hitter or if she's just going to kind of try and stretch out there. But again, it's a 2-2 still with Blankenship in the batter's box. It's McKnight at first. Lincoln coming home with it. Down in the dirt, McKnight thought about it. She'll head back to first as the count runs full here. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Coming up here.
And if that's it for McKnight, that would be a tough loss. Or for Knight, this would be a tough loss for the South Carolina lineup.
2 RBI double back in the first. Pitch is going to run outside. Ball 4. Great eye there from Blankenship. And Knight will come back in the game. I mean, I thought she was going to, but, you know, showing off that toughness, and that's what you love to see. And still kicking that leg a little bit. But
well, I mean, that's probably she'll feel it a lot tomorrow. I mean, that one was corked foul.
Yeah, Blankenship really got a hold of it. And they thought Texas Tech was signaling to the bullpen, but not yet, as it's lefty-lefty here. Lincoln versus Knight, 2 runners on, no outs. Fastball right down the pipe. Strike 1.
I think it might be number 75 in the bullpen for Texas Tech.
You might be right. You know, we'll certainly see whenever they...
I see a 5, so there's only 2 choices.
That's right. Knight thought about the bunt, did get a piece of the bat, they'll say. For strike 2, as that one got past Valdez.
Well,
we're going to wait on the scoreboard to make our official, you know,
proclamation
call here. Let's, yep, 2 strikes. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Home plate umpire. Again, runners on first and second. No outs, but an 0-2 count now to Abigail Knight. Knight's going to call time here. Maybe get the crowd behind her as 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI double so far. Slices this one to third. Lindemuth with a play, sliding back into first. Safe is Blankenship, but it's good for 1 out. Heads up play by the Red Raider third baseman.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is almost a crucial mistake for South Carolina. Tough batted ball luck there for Knight, especially after, what she had to deal with going into the at-bat.
Well, and in her first at-bat, it was a, kind of a slice hit over the head of Lindemuth. This one goes her way again.
Yeah. So she's pushing the ball.
That's right, as Heath steps into the batter's box and watches a fastball. Again, hit the plate there for ball 1.
Heath is sporting a .767 slug percentage on the year. 6 home runs, 6 doubles.
When she gets it, she gets a hold of it. Runners again on first and second. 1-0 count, 1 out. Heath with a 2 RBI infield single earlier today. Again, didn't even make it to the plate this time. Lincoln missing well low.
Lincoln struggling just a little bit, but
JP Heath made her mark in yesterday's game. A solo home run in the third inning was the only run in a 1-0 Gamecock victory.
Yeah, and today, I mean, she showed off the power yesterday, and today she showed off the speed.
2-0, this one driven into left field, ranging back is Elder. It's overhead and off the wall. McKnight's turning towards home. Blankenship in at third. It's an RBI double for Natalie Heath. Gamecocks lead it 5-0.
And that is like we just talked about.
Earlier in the game, she showed off the speed, beating out an infield single to score 2 runs. And
There's
there,
the power.
Just barely missing a home run. That really would have knocked this thing into blowout territory, as
she will be pinch ran for.
Shay Anderson.
Yeah, Shay Anderson.
And it's just great strategy from South Carolina. Get some speed on the bases where you can, and it's going to be another circle visit for the Red Raiders. We'll see if – doesn't look like it's going to be all for Lincoln. I could be wrong, but is that the head coach heading out to the bullpen there, JP?
I believe that is Glasgow head.
That's what it looks like.
They have another person. They have someone else is warming up as well. That one is – I can see that. That's 00's Brindley Gonzalez,
A freshman pitcher from Aledo, Texas.
Yeah, we'll have to see
Just
when they make the call, but not yet.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Gonzalez?
Well, Gonzalez just 9 2/3 innings pitched on the season, but she has a 2.17 ERA in limited experience. So that true freshman looking really nice out there.
Yeah, good in short spurts as Emma Sellers comes back up to bat. Runners on second and third. First pitch low again from Lincoln. That one the fastball, but hasn't been able to find the zone super effectively here in the third. Again, it's 5-0 South Carolina. 1-0 count, 1 out. Infield playing in. Sellers right to Lindemuth, who snags it and tags out Blankenship. What a play from Lindemuth, who retires all 3 batters that inning.
I mean, that is just, and like I said, with Knight, that's tough batted ball luck. But maybe, after the review that wasn't, Texas Tech maybe deserved that a little bit.
They get a little justice, but the Gamecocks get a run. They lead it 5-0. They're on 2 hits. They get a run, man. They're just extending it with this great offense. Lamb has been excellent. We'll see more of her in the top of the 4th inning. We'll be back after a quick break. again, welcome back here to Beckham Field. Your Gamecocks lead at 5-0. And JP, I said they'd see more Neely Lamb. I saw
lied.
the 4. I lied. Tell us about the new pitcher in the circle for South Carolina.
Yeah, it's Katie Becker, number 14, a sophomore transfer from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. A Granite Falls NC native. She's got 10 2/3 innings pitched on the season, a 2-0 record, but a 4.59 ERA and a 2.5 strikeout to walk ratio. So looking to improve those numbers a little bit here with a 5-0 lead she's inherited.
That's right. She's got definitely a lot of support behind her, and she'll face Haley Toney here. First pitch, just a tad high, ball 1. Toney with a single back in the second, sent it right up the middle, so she's 1 for 1 on the day and just 1 of 2 Red Raider hits. The 1-0, grounded over to second, fielded, bobbled by Shelton. Toney's going to beat that one out, just took a bad hop on her.
Yeah, I think that one will probably go down as South Carolina's first error of the day. Yep, it is.
I think that's the right call. Just, again, unfortunate there as kind of hopped the glove of Shelton. South Carolina, you mentioned, their first error of the day. They're 7th in the nation in field percentage with .981. A really good job. That brings up Bailey Lindemuth. First pitch from Becker is a strike this time around.
Lindemuth, 4 home runs, 4 doubles on the season. So 8 of her 20 hits going for extra bases. You like that ratio.
You certainly do. The 0-1 inside for ball 1. And, talked about it earlier how Haley Toney was one of those, big freshman acquisitions from the Red Raiders. Lindemuth is the other one. A big-time recruit out of Texas, and she's a pitcher/utility player. So she's, we might see her enter the game in the circle. Off-speed swing and a miss. Lindemuth way out in front of that one. You saw her show off the glove in that bottom of the 3rd inning, getting all 3 outs herself. It's rare you see that. The 1-2 from Becker. This one down in the dirt. Winters fires. It's going to be a steal there from Haley Toney. The throw just a hair late from Winters that time.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's tough.
The 2-2. Driven into right field. Knight ranging over. She'll come up firing. Runner stays at 3rd. What a throw from Abigail Knight.
Yeah, and that opens this up now. If Becker can get a strikeout or maybe a little lazy pop fly, then she can induce a double play. Now with the runners on the corners here. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Becker that she comes in looking to improve these numbers, settle in as we begin the slog of conference play. But an error letting a runner on.
That's right. It's the first pitch to the designated player, Kylie Huffman. Well upstairs as Winters. Good job just getting up for that one.
And they'll call time. They'll come talk with Becker on the mound.
Yeah, you got time. You want to calm things down as well as make sure you have the right defensive alignment that you want because, again, Huffman, first off, not a player we've seen a whole lot of. Bats .240 on the year. Only 4 RBIs, a freshman outfielder. JP definitely looks to be a speedster. Hasn't had too much success on the base pass. But, again, the Gamecocks seemingly expect her to maybe square around and bunt. Or maybe a slap hit here.
And that's what Texas Tech, they like to do. They just like to get runners in motions and, wreak havoc. And so it'll be interesting to see how both sides approach this coming out of this meeting on the mound. Because if Texas Tech can cut into this lead, all of a sudden, that the end of the 3rd inning really looms large because South Carolina could have really kind of put this one in run rule territory.
Yeah.
But, some tough luck there.
The 1-0 now to Huffman. It's popped up. Ranging in is Lelio. She's going to leave it for the left fielder. Fires in. It's going to be a sacrifice fly there. Pretty good throw from Vincent, just, a little too deep. So good work there from Huffman, getting the Red Raiders their first run in this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, that's smart ball. You just got to put the ball in play and get the run home because now with 1 out, you already still have a runner on. You can get stuff going.
So it brings up Demi Elder, who turns away from that one, almost hit by pitch again on the first pitch. So, thankfully she didn't, as that would have just been.
Yeah, no,
I hate to see that.
And that would have been her second on the season.
Just 3 at-bats. Off speed. Misses outside from Becker. A 2-0 count now to Elder. Lindemuth is the runner at first with 1 out here. Again, South Carolina leads it 5-1 in the top of the 4th, but the Red Raiders having their best inning yet. Becker comes home. This one good for a strike. Nice pitch there.
Now double play gets you just out of the inning and gets the bats back up and rolling.
You don't mind a sacrifice fly for your South Carolina, especially with your lead. You want to keep it there. That one maybe a screwball, kind of tailed out.
Yeah.
Misses for ball 3. Becker trying to find the zone. You definitely don't want to give up a walk as, again, after Valdez on deck, it's the top of the lineup. She doesn't give up a walk, finds the outside of the zone, and the count runs full.
Kind of a late call there on the strike.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, everyone held their breath, kind of waiting to see what was going to be called.
Full count. Runner on. Slicing foul into the netting. Elder does a good job of staying alive. Becker does a good job of finding the zone. So 3-2 is the count again. Lindemuth on first. Be interesting to see if she's going to run here. There's not 2 outs, but again, don't want to get into that double play. It misses outside. A 7 pitch walk there.
And the 6th walk of the season for Becker. And for Elder, she's gotten on base in 2 of her 3 of her first at-bats of the season, which, hey.
You'll take. Valdez steps into the plate. Chopped right in front. Becker makes the play. She'll toss it to first. 4 and out. Both runners advance, however.
That'll bring up Langoliers. With 23 RBI on the year with 1 hit. She can add 2 more to that.
This is, for the Red Raiders, again, a chance to cut the lead to 2 here with just a base hit. First pitch. Clips the inside third. Good start for Becker. Again, runners on second and third. 2 outs. 5-1 Gamecock lead. This is a huge moment in this game, JP. The 0-1. Off speed. Fouled back. A good pitch there from Becker.
And now Becker's got an advantageous 0-2 count to play with. A pitcher that doesn't get a lot of strikeouts going up against Langoliers, who doesn't strike out very much at all, just 7 on the season.
The 0-2. Becker fires. Fouled back into the netting. Langoliers stays alive. Maybe what you thought you'd do, JP. That's good timing for you.
Yeah.
Pretty standard defensive alignment here. No shifts. Just playing near the bags. On the corners. The 0-2 again. Becker down in the dirt. Winters does a great job staying in front of that one. 1-2 the count. Again, Becker looking for just her 3rd strikeout of the season here. Hasn't thrown too much ball, but a huge moment in this one. The 1-2. Langoliers stays alive again. It's fouled back. Again, a beautiful day out for some softball. A packed house here at Beckham Field. Gamecock women's basketball in the 2nd round here. Just a couple hours. The 1-2. Driven over to third. Past the glove. It did make contact, so it's going to count here. As that one scores 2. It's an 2 RBI double from Langoliers. JP, that was close.
That was very close. I couldn't tell if that hit the glove. I mean, it's sliced foul. Chancey obviously is talking with the third base umpire, and I think we're going to have some sort of meeting. We might have I'm trying to lean over and see the bullpen.
Yeah, not sure what kind of meeting it was, but so that ball ended up going foul, but
it was off the glove in fair
Chansey.
play of Chansey,
yeah,
which allowed for a 2 RBI double for Langoliers.
And we do have a pitching change. Becker does not get out of the 4th inning, and that will bring in number 25, Jory Hurd. Say the Gamecocks ace, JP.
I would say that.
Has been
I would
excellent.
say that as well. With already over 76 innings pitched on the year, 2.38 ERA and a 10-2 record.
She's coming in to kind of settle things down, and maybe this is a pitcher that Ashley Chastain Woodard is turning to kind of give the Gamecocks length and in this game.
Yeah, not surprising. I would say, you want to see what Becker has in a 5-0 game. Really close to getting out of the inning with only 1 earned run. Just didn't go her way there. Last game, she actually started yesterday. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 hits and 1 walk. No runs again as the Gamecocks pitched a shutout. It was Sam Gress finishing the job with 4 innings pitched, only gave up a hit. She had 2 Ks, and she got the win for that. But again, Jory Hurd, just fantastic stuff from her on the season. She'll kind of come in, with a clean slate, Well, I say that because the runner on second's not there. That's a lie. There is a runner on second with 2 outs. It just, of course.
She has to be careful here. She doesn't want to, because, a base hit could make this a 1-run game and put the pressure back on South Carolina's bats. It's very likely that Lincoln's going to leave the game. And so, South Carolina's going to have to face a new pitcher. And it's not going to be an easy task for her. She's going up against Lauren Allred.
Yeah.
Who Langoliers passed with 25 RBIs with that last double.
Yeah, Allred's had a really good year. Not been her day-to-day. Fastball misses low and inside, ball 1. Again, she lined out to Carly Shelton last time up in the 3rd inning and struck out looking all the way back in the 1st. It's a 1-0 count to the lefty Allred. Hurd fires. Soft grounder. Shelton races in. Quick pitch over to first. Got her just a step as Allred was busting it down that first base line. The Gamecocks lead it, but the Red Raiders cut a big slice into that lead. It's 5-3 now, Gamecocks. We'll see you in the bottom of the 4th, where we'll see the Gamecock bats back in action. We welcome you back here to Beckham Field. It's the Gamecocks still lead it 5-3. Red Raiders did a good job cutting into it here. We're still seeing Lincoln on the mound. What's she got to do to stay in the game here and, try and halt the Gamecocks offense?
Well, she's got to avoid letting the leadoff guy on, or woman in this instance. Opponents are batting .381 leadoff against Lincoln. So the start of an inning has not been her friend all year long.
And we've seen that today.
Since Emily Vincent singled her first time up. Good frame there from Valdez as it's called strike 1. Looked a hair outside, but Valdez, she's shown some prowess behind the dish. The 0-1. Grounded over to short. Easy throw from Tony. All Red secures it for out number 1. That'll flip back to the top of the order. It's the center fielder, Quincy Lilio, batting now. She's 0 for 2 so far today, so feels like just a matter of time before she gets on base, JP.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been quite an oddity.
And she looks to kind of slap bunt that one. Doesn't make contact, so it'll be strike 1. But you mentioned it, and it's, you know, when you start a game 0 for 2 and calling it an oddity, I think speaks to the quality of Quincy Lilio so far. She's having an outstanding season as the corner infielders creep in. Lilio stays back. She'll watch that one miss just a tad low as the count evens up at 1. Lincoln fires. High and outside there. Ball 2. So again, this Gamecock squad really disciplined at bats so far all night. All night. It is very clearly daytime. But the point still stands. The 2-1. This one sliced up. Lindemuth ranges back. She's called off by Tony, who fields that one for out number 2.
Yeah, so Lilio falls to 0-3 on the day, and I can't imagine there have been very many 0 for 3 days for her.
No, I think you're absolutely right. But, again, she's doing some good things. Just hasn't really gone her way, and I don't think that should dissuade her. As it's another lefty, Carly Shelton, stepping into the batter's box, 1 for 2 so far today. Drop ball, good for strike 1. That's a nice pitch.
Yeah, and Lincoln, you know, working her way back into things.
If she looks good, you know, she's just going to keep delaying that bullpen call.
Yeah, I know. Especially as the offense has woken up for Texas Tech. And now, you know, Lincoln, she's got 72 pitches on the day. So she might be near the end of her leash here, either in this inning or the next one. But with 2 outs, opponent's bat just 179 against her. So if she can get out of this one, it would be a nice 1-2-3.
Sure would. The 0-2. Did Shelton go? Nah, I didn't think so either. Good call there on third base. It's 1-2 now.
Man, and if they can go 1-2-3 right after, you know, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 4th, you get those hot bats back up and running.
That's really what you'd like to do for the Red Raiders. For South Carolina, you want to keep this inning going. Shelton's doing a good job of staying alive. She fouls another one off. Still a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Shelton does a really good job of, you know, having some lengthy at-bats or just getting on base. You know, it seems like she sees pitches she likes and fouls off getting struck out pretty well. The 1-2. Rips this one down the first base line. It actually left the ballpark, but just foul. As Shelton's got some pop, man.
Yeah, I mean, that one was line. She pulled that one just a little early on.
Had to kind of lean all the way out here to see where that one went.
I think it landed in the sand over the beach volleyball court.
You know, it was an active day. We had some tennis practice going behind us, beach volleyball in the outfield, and softball right in front of us. The 1-2. Fastball outside. This count goes to 2-2 against Shelton. Already worked a 6-pitch at-bat. Her second time thus far working a 6-pitch AB, so it does a really good job of making Lincoln's life hard. The 2-2. Grounded foul down the first base line again, Shelton. And this is what really gets a dugout, you know, fired up, JP. It's
just staying alive.
Just staying alive, man. And that's super valuable, even though she could get out right now, JP, and still, you know, she's probably cut Lincoln's day shorter by a batter. So it's the little things, man.
It's true.
2-2 once again. Shelton fouls it out once again, this time down the left side towards the Texas Tech dugout. Finally, we'll get the BG's Classic ringing out. I was waiting for it. You know, she'd only fouled off 4 or 5 pitches, but again, just a tough out. 361 hitter. Shelton looking for her second hit of the day. The 2-2.
Fouled away.
Fouled off again.
And, you know, that 361 average for Shelton, it doesn't dip when she gets into a two-out at bat. She bats 346 with 2 outs. So, you know, kind of that clutch gene and the selflessness that we've seen from South Carolina all year long.
Mm-hmm. I think she's just a great hitter, man. Great player all around. Really just a staple for this team. The 2-2 again. Fastball outside, and you can hear the dugout now.
Yeah,
getting really.
Well, I mean, it's been a story of Texas Tech is 1 for 5 with 2 outs. South Carolina batting .429 with their backs against the wall.
Yeah, that is big time. The full count. Swing and a miss. Lincoln finally gets out of it there. Beautiful fastball on the outside part of the zone, and JP, we've got ourselves a close one. South Carolina leads it 5-3 on the day. The Gamecocks have 6 hits and 1 error in the field. For Texas Tech, again, 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. We're going to take a momentary break, and we will see you in the top of the 5th inning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a good one here at Beckham Field. Thanks for hanging out with me and JP. Again, I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry. Gamecocks lead at 5-3, but the Red Raiders coming off their best frame so far. 3 runs scored, and then a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 4th. That makes it 5-3 with Alana Johnson coming up to bat. Again, Jory Hurd finished off the 4th inning with the Gamecocks. She'll stay in the circle. And now she'll deliver her first pitch of the inning. Up high, and Johnson didn't quite go around, so it'll be ball 1.
Yeah, good check for Johnson. But for her, a 1.10 whip means that, you know, she's not afraid to get traffic on, but she's been able to get out of it so far this year.
That one goes high again, ball 2. As the South Carolina defense definitely reading Johnson as a pull hitter, as Shelton playing just to the left of second base, normally, you know, in the usual second base spot. That one just a tad high. 3 straight balls from Hurd, and another 3-0 count to Alana Johnson. She walked on 4 pitches her last time up. Hurd comes home with a 3-0. Right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Johnson had the red light. Hurd comes home with a 3-1. Johnson leaves the box again early, but that one was close, man. That one just.
It's all about confidence, Spencer.
Yeah, just outside. The 5-pitch walk this time, but her second free base of the night. The day. One day I'll learn how to, you know, talk about the weather. But that'll bring up the center fielder, Maya Davis. She's 0 for 2 on the day. I said day that time. But gotten out on the first pitch both times, and we might make another call to the pen here.
That would be mighty interesting if Hurd's day is done after just 7 pitches.
It is going to be the case. Very surprising. So just after, 7 pitches on the day, Jory Hurt is done, and it brings up yesterday's pitcher who got the win. That's going to be number 9, Sam Gress. Transfer from UNC Charlotte from Harrisburg, PA. JP, you tell us a little bit about how her season's going?
Yeah, again, the 6th-year senior has a 3.15 ERA, a 7-2 record, and 53.1 innings pitched. She's got 42 strikeouts in that time, but 30 walks, Spencer. So they give out free passes, and that's not something you really want to do against this Texas Tech lineup.
No, it's not a usual formula for success, especially Texas Tech. They like to get out and run, tied for 14th in the country in stolen bases with 65. And, JP, you're at the part of the lineup that really does love to run. Maya Davis up to bat, 16 stolen bases on the year. And on first base, Alana Johnson, she's 6 for 8 herself. So, it's a tough stretch, especially if you're going to be giving away free bases. So hopefully Gress can find that control, and Gamecocks can hold on to their 5-3 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. And JP, in the bottom of the 3rd, South Carolina had runners on 2nd and 3rd, a line-out double play to Bailey Lindemuth at 3rd, and from then on, the Red Raiders have really found some momentum for themselves.
Yeah, sometimes it's as simple as having a bounce or two go your way. And that happened in that 3rd inning for Texas Tech. And it led to a 3-run top of the 4th. Clean bottom of the 4th from Lincoln pitching, and now they're back up. They got the leadoff runner on, and they're going up against Gress, who has a whip of 1.43. However, with runners on, opponents are batting just .229 against her. So I guess the story for South Carolina's pitching so far this season has been kind of living on the edge, but they've survived it so far.
That's right. They've fallen on the right side of that edge, I guess. Again, it's Maya Davis, the lefty. Sam Gress, the right-handed pitcher, now in the circle. Make sure her defense is all in the right spot. She'll kick some dirt around, and we've got the corner infielders in here. Alana Johnson on first, no outs. 5-3 Gamecocks lead. Gress's first pitch. Here it comes. Davis squares around a bunt, but it was a drop ball there. Was a little too low, and Davis pulled back, so ball 1. For Davis, probably just happy she didn't get out on the first pitch again.
Yeah.
Probably not a trend she wanted to be a part of, but the 1-0. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Davis, again, was looking to leave the box there and slap hit, but didn't go around as Gress really put some pepper behind that one. The 1-1. Chopped right, straight down. Gress comes in to field it, but by the time she gets there, Davis is already at first. It's an infield single that advances the runner.
Yeah, she looked at second base first, and nothing doing there. And
I don't think she had I don't even think she ever had a play at first. I mean, Davis is lightning fast.
So that one's going to be an infield single for Davis.
She chopped it. I mean, it couldn't have been more straight down. Didn't come off the plate, so it was a fair ball, and just out of reach of winners. Runners on first and second for Haley Toney. She fouls this one back off the netting, but.
And Toney, 3 home runs on the season, 8 doubles. So with the tying run on first and the leading run being her at home at the plate, it's certainly something.
We talked about this being a dangerous part of the Red Raider lineup. You got 2 runners on that are pretty speedy. Toney herself is fast with a stolen base on the day. Squares around a bunt, but that one misses. A wild pitch. Runners on second and third now. The stakes keep going up, JP.
That they do, and now a base hit will tie this one, and maybe it would have anyway with how fast Davis was at first. But that wild pitch, South Carolina's starting to look a little uncomfortable out there. Like, things haven't been going their way, and they're positioned to see how they respond to this.
The 1-1 with the infield in. Pitch just misses high. 2-1 count now.
And the worst part here is no outs. So
that ideally here, JP, you either want like a pop out in the infield or strikeout. That's
and because you can't exchange outs for runs here, because if you do that, then the game will be tied.
That's right. The 2-1. Driven into center field. Lilio, it's a one-hopper to her. She'll fire it in the infield, but 1 run scores on an RBI single from Haley Toney.
And Davis had to hold up there at second base. She wasn't sure if that one was going to get down or not. That's probably the only thing that kept her from scoring from second there to tie this game up. But now, with no outs, runners on the corner, and Lindemuth up, who's already got a hit today and a slugging percentage over .500.
The Red Raiders, that was Jerry Glasgow calling timeout. So they'll have a meeting over here as he high-fives Haley Toney as they're back in this game again. In the bottom of the third, we were talking about how South Carolina was, encroaching upon a run rule territory. Yeah. But right now, the Red Raiders are encroaching on taking the lead from the Gamecocks. It's 5-4.
Yeah, and, for Lindemuth, she's hit the ball very, very hard today. And so it'll be interesting to kind of see how she approaches this. She's a left-handed hitter. She's
a right-handed hitter.
Did I misread which Lindemuth? No, Bailey Tomey's a left-handed batter.
Haley Toney? I thought you said Lindemuth. Lindemuth at the plate is righty. Tony's lefty.
Well, they're
if the sheet is wrong.
The sheet is wrong,
Hey, my notes are right. That's all I know.
No, I know.
I'm just saying. But no, the Gamecocks, you got to get something going your way here. Again, no outs, runners on the corners. First pitch to Lindemuth. Curveball, good for strike one. That one had a whole lot of junk on it.
It did. I mean, it just waved through the air, and there was really nothing that Lindemuth could do with it.
The 0-1 now. Gress takes a breath. Now she'll come home. Squares around to bunt. In comes Chansey. Gets through the legs of Winters, and Davis is home. And we're all tied. And while Winters isn't looking, Lindemuth takes second. And it's gone from bad to worse for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how they score that. If that's ruled a double or it's it's the bunt, and they advance to second.
That's what I would think, because that's tough, man. And now you have runners on second and third, no outs.
I guess the question is, did she touch home plate? We saw Winters tag her late, but now the umpires are going to come together to discuss it.
What we can discuss, really great bunt from Lindemuth.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfect.
And especially when you have Davis, that makes life easy.
And South Carolina's good. Challenge this one, Spencer. We'll see if the challenge system works. But I find it very interesting. Yeah,
no, it's not sure if something has happened, and now we do have video back, or if we didn't even know if they got to actually review the call, because they looked at it the second and third time, JP. So maybe we do have video, but you got to think Lexi Winters behind the dish was asking for that one. Because I think that would have been hard.
It was a great play by Gress to get it to home, but Winters just kind of bobbled it. But if she didn't touch home plate, then she didn't touch home plate.
And we're going to actually see the replay here. It goes through the legs of Winters. This is going to be a tough angle here.
I don't know, man.
It's close.
She might have slid past it. You can't really tell.
You can't really tell, and if you can't tell, that probably means.
You'd think they would have a better angle than
that.
That
Here, probably is the better angle. I mean, she's playing with fire there, not touching the heart of the plate. It's mighty close. But also, Winter's shadow is kind of right over the plate.
It's blocking it for us. You would think that it wouldn't be blocking it that bad for the umpires, but.
Heads up play by Winters for even, making the tag there, because if she misses home, that keeps the lead in favor of the Gamecocks. They are going to come back and make the call here. So she is still safe at home, and that, keeps everything as it stands. 5-5 now. The Red Raiders have tied it up in a 2-run top of the fifth. And, JP, The danger is not gone. Second and third, no outs for the designated player, Kylie Huffman.
And, of course, if there was anyone you would want up in this situation for South Carolina, it's probably someone with a OPS below 600.
The 0-1, off speed, just a hair high for ball one.
And it's interesting, stat broadcast says it was a fielder's choice, advanced to second on the error. And it says that there was an error by the third baseman. I don't know if that's...
I wouldn't have said that, but you know what? That's all right. The infield's in here for Huffman.
I find that to be interesting.
Pitch by Gress, missed outside. It's ball two here.
With no outs still in the fifth inning. Of course, if you walk her, it sets up the force out at home, and you can get the double play at first.
You know, I think right now Gress just needs to try and find the zone. The 2-0. She answers my call beautifully right down the middle. JP, scoreboard says 1-1. You have that as 2 balls, 1 strike. Am I right here? I think she's thrown 3 pitches here. I haven't gotten something from the officials, but we'll see. The 2-1 coming home. That one good for strike 2.
I guess it's a 1-2.
Yeah, I want to see what the official has. 2-2. Yeah, there we go. I said I thought I wasn't going crazy. 2-2 count. Runners on second and third. Again, the infield still in. Trying to keep this game deadlocked at 5. Pitch low and away will fill up the count. Huffman, the lefty, settles in. Gress toes the rubber and gets the signal. Comes home with the payoff pitch. Fouled back. Huffman does a good job just staying alive there as that one kind of off the end of the bat. Again, full count. Runners on second and third. 5 all here. Huffman squares around to bunt, and it'll be foul. So she's out, but the runners, do they have to go back?
Yeah, well,
okay,
yeah, it was a bunt foul with 2 strikes. An interesting choice there as Huffman, who batted just before that, 0-83 with runners in scoring position. That's probably going to get a little bit worse, but it's a crucial first out for Gress.
Yeah, and JP, I got really confused there because Texas Tech was running. South Carolina.
Well, I think what they thought might have happened was that they might have fielded it on the chalk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would have probably been pretty good for South Carolina. They would have gotten the
lead runner, yeah.
Run down, but
nonetheless, it brings up the left fielder, Demi Elder. Reached base twice on a hit by pitch and a walk.
It's her first start. It's for her first action of the season.
Yeah, she'd only had 1 previous AB before today.
Yeah, and hit by pitch and a base on balls.
She's shown a good eye so far as that first pitch from Gress missed outside. So again, 1-0, 1 out. Still the runners on second and third. Bunt from Elder. Chansey comes in, flips it to Winters. In time for the out at home.
And they're going to
Texas Tech
immediately, Glasgow and Tony at home immediately signaled the challenge it. I don't know.
I think it's a good call for the challenge.
You have to challenge it, but I think that
might be upheld, especially if the previous play was.
Might have gotten under the tag there from Winters. Again, it was heads up running there from Haley Tony. As it stands right now, she was called out at home. 5-5 game. That would make it 2 outs, runner on third and first, so runners on the corners. But again,
this would be a huge second out for South Carolina.
Yeah, certainly would.
Keeping this game tied, obviously, of course.
And for Texas Tech, it wasn't just Glasgow. It was the on-deck batter, Victoria Valdez, immediately signaling safe. JP, let's take a look at the board.
This time, Winters held on to it.
Yeah, a good pitch from Ella Chansey racing in. They're right in the glove. Let's see if they actually will press play here. There we go.
We're getting a slideshow frame by frame. Winters has it there.
Think she's going to be safe.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oof.
definitely safe there.
Yeah,
I
that's a
thought
tough
it was safe as well. So again, they're going to come back and make this call, but it's going to be a 6-5 game. As the Red Raiders will eventually, we'll confirm this when they get the call, but we'll take the lead here, 6-5 in the top of the 5th. Still, we'll have runners on the corners. And JP, we've got the peanut gallery back here, just trying an array of ballpark snacks behind us.
Yeah.
It's so tempting.
Yeah.
The smell of hot dogs and popcorn. That's
glorious tech man Reece Nolting offering me an empty popcorn bucket. I'm going to throw him out of the press box.
Call's been changed to safe. We saw it just as clear as they did. JP, the Gamecocks trail for the first time this game. It's 6-5 Red Raiders.
I think
runners.
The first time this series, too.
You are correct there. Again, Texas Tech tied the first game of this series all the way back on Friday before the Gamecocks took the lead again. But now the home team will have to play from behind with Victoria Valdez up to the plate. Runners on the corners. Valdez chops this one foul. Glasgow bobbles it out.
Oh, he almost had it.
Almost.
But, Valdez typically a 294 hitter, but with 2 outs, she's a 333 hitter and a 300 hitter with runners in scoring position. So this is a nice luxury to have in your 9-hole, someone who can come up and get a base hit when needed when you got runners on.
She's flown out to center twice today, so she's put good power on it. Fastball high from Gress. Count evened up at 1-1. And again, I think a fly out to center here probably scores Lindemuth. So I don't think the Red Raiders would be upset about that at all because there's still just 1 out.
Yeah, and that's where the overturn really just changes the complexity of this game.
Curveball again. Gress just hangs in the air. Valdez got a piece of it, but so little it barely moved.
I think Valdez was sitting heater there, and then she already committed to swinging, and it was coming in. Way slower than she anticipated,
Yeah.
so she kind of just kept the bat out there to try to get a piece of it.
1-2 count. 1 out. Runners on the corners. The Gamecocks now trail. Fastball skips up some dirt. 2-2 count. It's a huge moment for Gress. You'd love to just have 2 outs so you could make a play at second or first here with the runners on the corners. She comes home, swing and a miss. Runner caught in a pickle as Elder doesn't know what to do.
Well, they need to be careful.
They throw runner home, and Lindemuth is tagged out. Great play from Brooke Blankenship, just holding it until the time was right. And the most awkward double play ever ends the Red Raiders inning. They do have the lead 6-5. As we're going to move to the bottom of the 5th. Glasgow's upset about something.
I guess because she got tagged in the face? I don't know. Whoa, what are we challenging here?
We'll have to see. Glasgow storms back to the dugout. He's not happy about something.
The weirdest strike him out, throw him out double play I've ever seen, but.
Obstruction at the plate. What? We're going to go see this one, see if Winters was obstructing. And again, I feel for these officials. I mean, these.
Can they just sit? Hey, they'll just come back and be like, "Oh, the machine's broken again."
I mean, they should have the machine brought to them. These poor old guys running in the sun out here. Can we get them some water?
But
this would again be a huge overturn and
this
would keep the Red Raider inning alive.
After what was a kind of brutal blunder there, it almost seemed like South Carolina was going to kind of get, for lack of a better word, trolled there as the
it
rundown.
Was Elder, in between
Elder was in the rundown, and if she had been able to stay alive and let the runner score, then that might have been a little bit worth it. But a heads-up play there by Shelton.
Let's see the play-by-play.
I just don't understand what she would be obstructing if she's.
I mean, she's just out by a mile is what it looks like. They're saying Winters, she just turns and tags her, but Lindemuth started the slide way late. I just don't see how that could be. Yeah, I don't see how that could be.
Texas Tech fans are clapping. I don't understand. Whoa.
As the wind
tried to steal my glorious packet.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, surely not.
I
don't
wouldn't
understand.
I wouldn't think so because for the folks at home, we'll try to describe this as best we can. Lindemuth is running, if this is your batter's box, running to the side of it and then tries to come slide in kind of around Winters.
And I'm Winters, and boom.
But also, I think Lindemuth just started the slide too late. I think that might be your issue there because they're saying, or the coach wants obstruction here, but when you slide too late, you're trying to run around Winters when – it might be a little more physical, JP, but you probably should have tried to run through her.
The umpires are making their trek.
Let's see the little jog here. Let's get the arms pumping, baby. Oh, yeah. Again, a huge call. JP was throwing out his back stationary here.
I've made fun of old people and been reminded of my own old age at 22.
And the call stands out at home plate. And, that's just going to be the right call. But, again, the Red Raiders have taken the lead here. It is 6-5, Texas Tech, as we move to the bottom of the fifth, where, JP, now the Gamecocks need offense to try and get back in this. And we're going to take a quick break. Hey, stick with us here on SGTV. We've got a good one. Welcome back to Beckham Field, and for the first time tonight, the Red Raiders have made a pitching change. And JP, I'm personally a little excited for this one. It's number 24, Nigeri Kennedy, coming back onto the bump after throwing 6 innings in a loss yesterday, giving up just 2 hits, the 1 earned run. It was the solo shot by Natalie Heath, but one of the most exciting pitchers in softball. And now the Gamecocks have a tall task trying to score off of her as they trail 6-5. Ella Chansey leads off here, bottom of the 5th. Kennedy's first pitch, heater, right in the zone for strike 1. And JP, you can just tell the kind of pace that has on it.
Yes, it does, and it makes sense why she's only allowed 9 extra base hits all season long in 85 2/3 innings.
The 0-1. Chansey gets just a piece of it, but fouls it back. 0-2 as Kennedy's working quickly. And JP, now you're kind of wondering, questioning a little the South Carolina pitching changes. You put Becker in, who hasn't played much all year. She struggles. And now instead of maybe working off the freshman Brinley Gonzalez, and now they bring in Kennedy, who's easily their best pitcher, one of the best in the whole country.
Yeah.
And things get a whole lot harder when you now need offense.
Yeah, a .65 ERA.
And Chansey takes that one off the shoulder, throws the bat, but she'll take her bases. Thankfully, she seems all right.
Yeah, and for someone who just, doesn't give out free passes very often, just 10 walks on the season for Kennedy, and 133 strikeouts on the campaign. And for South Carolina, who's kind of struggled with striking out today.
Again, the 5th most Ks in the country as Chansey gets checked out on the first base line. Hopefully she's all right. It clunked off that left shoulder. She just ate a rise ball. That's tough, but they're just making sure she's all right. It's probably going to, change her out on the base paths. Whenever we get back to action, it's going to be the catcher, Lexi Winters, coming up to bat. She's 1 for 1 on the day with a walk. And again, you're at a good part of the lineup if you're South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, JP, the whole lineup's pretty darn good.
That's what we're hearing from trusted sources. And
Chansey will actually stay on first. Big trooper out there, and she is thankfully seeming to be A-OK. As we'll get back to some softball here. Again, Red Raiders lead at 6-5, but the Gamecocks starting off well here in the bottom half of the fifth. Runner on first, no outs for Winters. Fastball. Just clips the zone. JP, I don't know if that was the call being made here in the first inning. That one.
No, but maybe the umps are they're tired of all the reviews and they want to get out.
They're tired of running to right field. I don't blame them as Winters, again, just kind of check swings and gets a piece of it. So it's 0-2 again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that would have, I think that would have been still a little bit of a wild pitch. And
yes, Kennedy she's throwing these fastballs so fast that, you don't really have a chance to pull the bat back. It's the 0-2 now, second batter in a row. Rise ball misses upstairs for ball 1 to Winters.
Winters has 12 extra base hits on the season, and if she can get one into the gap, this might tie this game back up.
There's a large portion of real estate out there in left center. Got to think she's looking there. The 1-2. Off speed, way out in front of it was Winters. That is just one heck of a pitch.
And make that strikeout number 134 on the day, or on the season.
On the day, we'd be playing in like the 150th inning here. That would be something.
Although with Kennedy, you could probably get there.
Yeah,
the time.
I mean, put up a valiant performance in a loss yesterday. Again, just one mistake, but the Gamecocks trying to force her to get another one. Is actually Demi Elder comes out of the game. They're going to substitute somebody else in left field. Did you get a look at who that was?
No, I didn't.
See if our good friends at Stat Broadcast have us covered in just a minute. But again, there's one out. There's a runner on first. That's Ella Chansey. In the batter's box, it's Brooke Blankenship. She's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Couldn't quite make out what was being said by the PA announcer, but we'll get it to you when we can. Kennedy fires. Fastball, strike 1. She's good at working quickly, JP, and also, getting ahead in these counts.
Yeah, and her whip is .67, which is just
it's absurd. This one softly hit the second, flipped to short. Tony fires. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. That's just an absolute gut punch to South Carolina. So they trail again by 1 as we move to the top of the 6th inning. JP and I are going to take a quick break, and you go ahead.
Well, coming into left field for
Demi Elder was number 7, the sophomore outfielder Logan Holloman from Flower Mound, Texas.
That's a good eye there, getting her running back into the dugout. But again, quick break from us. We'll be back in the top of the 6th. Stick with us. This game is still got a lot of ball left to be played. Thanks for joining us, and welcome back here to Beckham Field. Again, the Red Raiders have now taken the lead 6-5. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Gamecocks needing some runs, but first they got to try and keep the Red Raiders where they are and keep this a one-run game. It's still Sam Gress in the circle, and we're back to the top of the lineup for Texas Tech. It's Alexa Langoliers leading off. She has a single and a double today. It's been an excellent game from her. Gress is going to call time here.
Yeah, for Langoliers, her first at-bat was a kind of just like, it was a little looper in the shallow right field, but ever since then she has just been on top of the ball, including a 2 RBI double in that 4th inning.
That got everything started for Texas Tech as Gress finds the upper third there with strike 1. The 0-1 count now, righty-righty matchup, and the second pitch pops straight up behind Winters. She couldn't quite find it fast enough, but it is still strike 2.
It just wasn't really hit hard enough to for Winters to be able to make a play there.
It was like popped up kind of above her head, but then it started spinning backwards, so she kind of had a weird turn there.
It was an elite foul ball by Alexa Langoliers.
Yeah, that's a skill right there. She faces a 0-2 count. Gress comes set. Now she comes home. This one slapped into left field. Ranging in is Vincent. Nice play there for out number 1.
Yeah, and that one was hit well, too. So Langoliers really just put on a show here.
Somebody we haven't heard much of from the Red Raiders that we usually do is the first baseman. It's Lauren Allred, 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight, and she was responsible for, before this game, the only Red Raider runs in this whole series back in Game 1.
I guess that just means she's due.
It sure seems that way. As I had to take a breath there as Gress missed the zone for ball 1.
She has 7 doubles, 3 triples, and 4 home runs on the campaign. So out of 30 hits, 14 of them have gone for extra bases.
The 1-0 now from Gress. This one, Allred gets under it and lifts it foul.
Into the parking lot.
Yeah, thankfully we aren't parked out there, so hopefully no damage done to any other cars. But hey, we're in the clear, guys. It's the 1-1 now as Sellers at first kind of creeped up there towards the delivery from Gress. 1-1 with 1 out. Gress fires. Upstairs, ball 2.
Changing out the balls at home plate.
2-1 now is the count for Allred. No runners on, 1 out. Again, the Red Raiders lead it 6-5 here at Beckham Field in just what is a beautiful day for softball and, frankly, any other activity that gets you outside. Not a cloud in sight.
Well, you can do that after you listen to us.
That's true, unless you're going on a walk and you got us tuned in. As Gress just kind of dropped that one, didn't get to the plate. So 3-1 is your count. Allred showing off her plate discipline. And JP, she's got a stance that just kind of screams danger. That's looks like she's about to just step into one and rip it. And for South Carolina fans, hopefully that's not the case, as it was Gress who rips a fastball right down the plate. Fill her up. The count is full.
Yeah, I mean, that's the batting stance of someone with an OPS over 1.1, even despite being 0 for 3 today.
And the full count. Gress comes home. Chopped over to third. It gets past Chansey into left for a single. That's just great hitting from Allred.
Yeah, she goes the other way. A lot of balls have been hit down that third base line today, both fair and foul. But Allred finds the right side and gets it right under the glove of Chansey there at third.
Yeah, and Chansey laid out for it, just got a little too much pace on it, so she couldn't quite get there. So there's a runner on first now, and 1 out for Alana Johnson, who's walked twice tonight. Once in 4 pitches, the other in 5. The shift is on as drop ball again doesn't quite make it to the plate for ball 1.
So if we are, working with like exponential growth, I guess we're looking at a 6-pitch walk this at bat for Johnson.
JP, as you know, I hope you don't speak that into existence.
I mean,
but that would be what the numbers have told us.
We're looking into it.
The 1-0. Fastball down and in again. 2-0.
I think that one might have got some of the chalk of the batter's box.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't hit the foot of Johnson, or that would have given you a 2-pitch hit-by-pitch at bat. But again, the shift is on for Johnson, and really hasn't had to work too hard in the batter's box. Hasn't seen a lot of good pitches. The 2-0 from Grass. This one's good. Finds the inside third for strike one. And again, I think from Grass, JP, you just want to see, at least if you're going to miss a little more competitively, try and get some swings.
Yeah, I mean, get the ball in play and see what happens.
Yeah. The 2-1. Curveball chopped over to Chansey. Jump fields it over to Shelton. In time at second, but no throw to first. It's good for 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, literally, as I said it, they got the ball in play and got the force out at second to cut down that lead runner. But now it's Maya Davis, who is a part of that big-time fifth inning for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, the fifth inning of just absolute nightmares for South Carolina, because really, the Red Raiders didn't do much except bunt, walk, just run, and that's what they're good at. The corners are in. Strike one from Gress. Good pitch there. Again, when you've got Davis, who's such a bunt and slap hitting threat, you've got to, work good counts.
Yeah, and Chansey running down there from third base, playing for the bunt, but they need to be careful with that because she could definitely just loop one up over her head.
Same thing with Sellers over here at first. It's slapped to shortstop. Blankenship fields, fires to first. In time, just barely, as Davis bolted. Wasn't in time. Blankenship got her by a step, and that ends the top of the sixth inning.
I don't think we'll see a review.
You got to hold your breath because it's seemingly happened once every couple innings, but we're all good here. The top of the sixth comes to a close. South Carolina trails by 1. We'll see if they answer in the bottom of the sixth. Stick with us. And we're back here for some more Gamecock softball on SGTV. Again, I'm Spencer Ball, joined by J.P. Barry. The Red Raiders lead at 6-5 now in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Gamecocks will look to try and answer. Up to bat, they've got the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, so it's going to be Abigail Knight, Natalie Heath, and Emma Sellers. Righty-lefty matchup here with Nigeri Kennedy on the bump.
Yeah, and Kennedy worked a scoreless fifth in relief after her stellar outing yesterday. But Knight bats .636 leadoff.
She's going to square that one around. It is called a strike, again, in the upper third of that zone. Much to the chagrin of some South Carolina fans. Thought that was a little high and, tough to see up here. And I think the strike zone's been pretty good today.
I think so, too.
I mean, the officials have done a stellar job.
Done with all
the counts and such. Again, it's 0-2 now as Knight fouled that one back. It's been a very tough time for South Carolina against Kennedy. Again, she hit the first batter, but outside of that, it feels like she started every count 0-2, and then she can just kind of dictate what she wants to do from there. Here, she tries to blow it by Knight, slaps it down the third baseline, just foul, but shows she can at least make contact with that heater of Kennedy's.
She was a little bit late there on it. If she can time that up maybe just a little bit better. She could shoot that one down the line and into the corner.
Better late than never.
And she already has a double on the day.
The 0-2, this time off speed, freezes Knight, and she heads back to the dugout after seeing strike 3 just drop right into the zone. That was a beautiful pitch.
It's a backwards K. But Natalie Heath, who got the better of Kennedy yesterday for that home run that ended up being the difference in a 1-0 game, can she do it again?
That is the question. The first pitch she sees. Fastball outside, ball 1, and good discipline there from Heath. And doesn't start on the back foot here. She's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double driven in. 3 runs by my count, and just fantastic day. Trying to get even better. The 1-0 to Heath. Checked her swing. Nothing doing. 2-0 count. Again, I think you're seeing some different pitches from Kennedy here. I think she learned her lesson going inside on Heath yesterday.
Yes, she did, but Heath, a 1.245 OPS.
Off-speed swing and a miss. Great changeup there. 2-1 count. Again, Heath putting herself in a good position against Kennedy. Kennedy just trying to work out of it. She shakes off Valdez. Now she comes home. The 2-1. Fastball. She definitely went that time. 2-2 now is the count. Heath trying to start something in the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-5 Texas Tech. 2-2 count, 1 out. This one fouled back into the netting. And did you hear Kennedy on that one?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like Serena Williams on a serve, just really unleashed on that fastball.
And it came in hot.
Yeah.
A good swing by Heath to stay alive. Someone who's been so good for Carolina today, a single and a double.
The 2-2. Heath gets a hold of it. It will go out of play here, as thought for a second there Lindemuth might have had a play down in foul territory, but she does not. Again, count still at 2-2. Heath, as the song says, staying alive. And you got to think, if she barrels up a Kennedy fastball, we might see it fly to Willie B from here.
It just might, or even the Bojangles behind it. As a rally flag waver out there behind the Texas Tech bullpen, trying to get people fired up.
Yeah, it's a beautiful athletics complex back here. You got a little bit of everything, and right in the heart of it sits Beckham Field. 2-2 count, yet again for Heath. Kennedy delivers. Low in the zone, strike 3.
Yeah, Heath, I think she was just trying to, ambush a fastball, and she couldn't stop herself from going around.
Same thing as Knight, Kennedy brings the off speed after just flaming pitches at you. It's very tough, but that brings up Emma Sellers. 2 outs, nobody on. Swing and a miss, and JP Kennedy is really finding the stride now.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to get vengeance for yesterday.
It feels personal. The 0-1. That one curved off out of the zone. 1-1 count. And in the on-deck circle is Maya Flint, someone we don't always see, would be pinch hitting for Emily Vincent if she gets the chance. The 1-1 now. High and outside, ball 2. Good eye there from Sellers. That one was a tough one to lay off. The 2-1 from Kennedy. Swing and a miss. Again, that off speed just freezes these batters.
Yeah. Sellers, though, that's 667 with 2 outs. If she can get something going.
Little rally. 2-2 with 2 outs. Fastball in on the hand. Sellers does a great job just to get something on that one. See if Kennedy goes back to the off speeds here. It's worked 2 straight times. See if third time's the charm. The 2-2 again. Fastball just blows it right by Sellers. And the Red Raiders get a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. As we move into the 7th, it's do or die for your Gamecocks. Stick with us here on Student Gamecock Television. And we've got 7th inning softball here at Beckham Field. The Red Raiders lead at 6-5 over the home team. Gamecocks here. Up for the Red Raiders is going to be Haley Toney, Bailey Lindemuth, and Kylie Huffman. Toney and Lindemuth instrumental in that 5th inning that saw the Red Raiders go on top of the Gamecocks. And again, it's been tough all day to get them out. We'll see how Sam Gress fares her 3rd inning in the circle.
Yeah. You know, she's had a good outing so far. Only 1 earned, 2 runs allowed, 2 strikeouts, 38 pitches. And as she enters her 3rd and perchance final inning of work, she's going to try and keep this one in a 1-run deficit for South Carolina, who still has 3 outs to work with.
And the lefty Toney watches that one miss outside for ball number 1. Again, 2 for 3 on the day with a stolen base, an RBI. And she's been really excellent defensively as well at the shortstop position. The 1-0. Curveball, beautiful from Gress, 1-1. The 1-1 off speed, miss outside. Toney showcasing the good eye again. Gress delivers the 2-1. It's popped up and back towards us for a foul ball. Count evened up at 2-2. Again, no runners on, no outs. Texas Tech leads at 6-5 here in the top of the 7th inning. JP, what would you throw to Toney here?
I think you just kind of try and blow it by her. You know, she's got 2 singles on the day, but
let's see it. Here's the 2-2 from Gress. Not how you drew it up there. Hits Toney in the shoulder.
She overcooked that one a little bit.
Yep, it's going to be a free runner again. The Red Raiders have a runner on first, and Toney's okay. That one, thankfully didn't get her too bad. She'll shake it off, and the trainer will jog out to make sure, but seemed to be in okay spirits here.
Yeah, and that's that's tough because now with her getting on, it is opening back up to the part of the Texas Tech lineup that really did a lot of damage in those 3rd and 4th innings. Yeah, they scored all 6 of their runs.
Yeah, Lindemuth has been really, really great so far, and head coach Sherry Glasgow going to give a word to her while the trainer jogs back. And thankfully, Haley Toney is okay on first base. Again, it's a runner on first. No outs. And the right-handed Lindemuth steps into the box. She's 1 for 2 today. and also has a fielder's choice in there. That one high for ball one, and Winters fumbled it, but Tony decides better of it. The 1-0 comes home. Curveball. Good for strike one. And again, we're seeing Tony kind of get about a third, halfway down that in between first and second, but not committing against Winters. That would have been the pitch to run on, JP.
Yeah,
that one.
That or the one she dropped.
Yeah, there you go. The 1-1 now. Curveball again. Good for strike two. Yeah, that's a great pitch. Glasgow's going to call. Oh, he's going to talk to home plate umpire. They call that a swing. Is that what he's asking?
I guess so.
Either way, it's 1-2. I guess we needed to waste a little more time with that.
Yep.
1-2, runner on first. That one's low for ball two. And again, count evened up at 2. Tony threatening to run, just hasn't quite done it yet. I'm waiting to see if she does, as that's the second pitch Winters has dropped in this at-bat, but still no running. 2-2, no outs. Grounded to third, Chancey Fields. Over to second, Shelton with a good grab. Kind of the throw threw her into the slide of Tony, but thankfully she's okay there, as that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, but they get the lead runner again here. And so for Carolina, it's going to bring up Huffman, who hit that sac fly back in the fourth. That really kind of kept things, you know, it was after the whole debacle with the reviews and all that. And it just
well, after one of them, you know, then there was another one in the fifth about, you know, interference at the plate. Huffman.
Well, it's Logan Holloman who entered into left field.
That's right. So Demi Elder is on deck, who was originally started in left field. It is Logan Holloman. That's a good catch there. Nonetheless, you watch strike one go right by her. So instead of Huffman, it's Holloman. Demi Elder on deck for the Red Raiders. 0-1 count, 1 out, and a runner on first.
And even stat broadcast.
Looking for the bunt, but fouls it back to Holloman. So now there's 2 strikes, but showcasing that speed. And, JP, you got to think it's probably what she's here to do. 13 of 16 on the base pass this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And now for South Carolina, it's going to be hard to double them up with the speed they have on the base pass. But if you get a strikeout here, you're 1 ground ball away.
The 0-2 slap towards Chancey. Good throw to Shelton. They'll just take the out there.
Well,
2 down, and, you know, Groundhog Day. Still the runner at first.
So that'll now bring up Elder, who has been hit by a pitch, walked, and then finally got out for the first time back in the 5th inning, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That was with all the chaos with the bunt.
Yeah. The 2 strike, yes.
Yeah, it was chaos. I mean, really. There's been some weird moments in this one. Lots of reviews, and certainly is. Now, again, she's considered the designated player because Holloman took her place in left. No matter which way you cut it, there's 2 outs, a runner on first, and Sam Gress just blew a fastball by her. Gress has done a lot better of a job this inning in finding her command here and getting ahead in the count. The 0-1. Off speed good for strike 2.
And that's been really, I think, the biggest thing for Gress is that she has just really settled into this game. And even she's, despite the early trouble, she's improved her season ERA.
The 0-2 coming home. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Gress gets out of the 7th, and the score remains 6-5. We go to the bottom of the 7th, where JP, the Gamecocks, need at least 1 run to keep us going here. Beckham Field, you don't want to miss the bottom half of this one. Stick with us. Well, fans, we've got some unfortunate news for South Carolina because of Texas Tech's flight seemingly leaving CAE. There was a drop-dead time of 2:30, and if you check your phones or your watches, it's 2:30 on the nose. So the Red Raiders take this one 6-5, and unfortunately the Gamecocks don't get a chance to answer in the bottom of the 7th. So they said that they would kind of scrap the top of the 7th is the way I get it, and pretend that it ended after 6. So, again, we weren't sure of the drop-dead time, or we weren't made aware of that. And, it's an unfortunate way to lose a game because, only trail by 1, have a chance to try and get after it in the bottom of the 7th. JP, your quick thoughts before we pack it up here?
Well, it stings a little to not sweep when you were up 4-0 in the third game and had many chances to add on.
Before,
5-0.
Yeah.
You had many chances to add on in between them. It really goes back to that third inning where they had runners on the corners with 1 out, and they lined one right to third, and they got the double play for Texas Tech. And that's really where the momentum shifted. South Carolina never really got their mojo back. I don't even think they got anyone in scoring position after that. So that's unfortunate. But still for South Carolina, nothing to really be upset about. Texas Tech, a very good team. First place in the Big 12. And now South Carolina will move on this week with a midweek matchup against Clemson before going on the road to face LSU in conference play.
Yeah, and you got to think that's exactly where your attention is going to be focused on. That Tuesday game right here at Beckham Field. SGTV will be here. My good friend J.P. Barry will be here. So definitely tune into that, 6 o'clock first pitch. But you want to take down your in-state rivals. We talked about it at the start of the broadcast. It's been a while. Clemson's gotten the better of South Carolina. We don't have the stat here. We probably should have. But, it's been a while since they've been able to take down their in-state rivals. Nonetheless, unfortunate way to end the weekend, but you take the series win. You've got nothing but SEC series really the rest of the way, a couple midweeks here and there, but it doesn't get easier for South Carolina, but they showed a lot of good things, and they're going to be a fun team to keep your eye on. Again, I've been Spencer Ball. He's been JP Barry. Thanks for tuning in to us here on SGTV, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.